Yes, I can hear you.
You wanna fucking count us in?
Yes, 3, 2, 1, go!
What up, you fucking cunts? Welcome to another episode of Necro Electric. I'm your host, Sean D. Skellington. This is my ponytailed bride, Kylie.
This is a braid. This is not a ponytail.
Okay.
All right, Wendy.
She's the braided bride.
We got Jordan Fernandez's new smash hit over here.
Smash hit.
He smashes and hits it.
Oh!
You posted pictures of him fisting you today.
No, he was punching me in the butt!
Who is this?
Punching in the butt.
I'm so jealous.
Same thing.
Of Oscar or Jordan?
Both.
We can arrange something.
Yeah.
We got some very special guests today. Returning for like the 4th or 5th time, Brianna Feliciano.
Yay!
And today she brought her man.
That's right.
Finally, we get to meet Mr. Kye.
Yep. What's up?
Mr. Bree.
Mr. Bree.
He said donde está.
Hola, soy Dora. I'm trying to impress Oscar. Okay? Will you let me get with the vibe?
Alright, before we get too deep into this shit, hit the smash button, like button, subscribe button.
Hit the smash button, whatever that
You know what it means. Alright, this is Kye's first time, so he has to play Who the Hell Are You?
Yes, be gentle.
We'll ease in. Alright, so vampire, werewolf, zombie, troll, wizard, or monster hunter.
Oh crap.
Pirate.
Ooh,
Or pirate.
or pirate? Oh man, I've always resonated with oh shit, that's hard.
With oh shit, that's hard.
Yeah, oh man.
He says that a lot.
Let's go with werewolf. Werewolf.
Werewolf?
I can see that.
Yeah,
Okay.
on that vibe. Yeah.
I thought you would say monster hunter or vampire. Because you're
I
like halfway down
thought you were
already
going to
with
say like warlock.
I like the whole vampire thing. It just depends on which ones we're talking about. Like if
like
we're
interview with a
like if it's
vampire.
interview with a vampire, I'm jive with that. But if it's like Twilight,
Where you glitter in the
yeah,
sun.
like if it's Lost Boys
Don't
and like all that
miss
fun
Lily
stuff, I'm
and
okay with
I
that.
like Interview with the Vampire too, because all the Anne Rice ones, if you're tired of just like the fucking world, you could just go lay in a crypt for like fucking
Yeah.
Right, and be done.
like 10 decades and then arise whenever you fucking feel like it.
Yeah.
No, I would be the vampires that do the live theater. That would be fun. I'd be one of those vampires.
Oh, like the Antonio Banderas.
Yes.
fucking ones.
Yes.
You guys are all living in a fucking like hole in the wall just to perform every night.
Yes. That
Fucking thespian.
That's
best believe it.
All right. Second question: what kind of porn do you watch?
Oh jeez. What is Oscar like? What is he like?
Listen, I was told to not out Oscar on the podcast anymore,
Yeah.
so you'll have to ask him that yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you, Oscar.
I forgot to ask. Like, yeah, because he was on before we did Who the Hell Are You?
Yeah.
He was on. He snuck in on the special, and I forgot to ask.
Ah, dang it.
You got
Little
over me,
weasel.
Oscar.
Right? Jeez, that's a weird question. I mean, that's different. Let's think about that. So last time,
Thursday at 6 o'clock.
yeah, let's let's see. Man, there's not a specific genre that I really prefer.
You just
Women
like
on
scroll the
Women's Cool.
top videos or something?
Yeah, used to I just scroll
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, we're on the 3rd page. Let's pick one, and then you just go in on it.
Go all in on one and see if it works out.
Yeah, that's right.
Pray for the best.
Yeah, we're eclectic. I consider myself a Christopher Columbus of porn. You gotta search out, like, just think of random stuff, like be like Frankenstein porn,
Oh, dude.
Ronald McDonald porn.
So a good like it was like looking at porn bloopers. I think it
Oh,
was
there you
Mike
go.
Penny that turned me on.
Oh my god,
Dude,
shut the hell
so
up.
Mike Penny turned me on to this, and I mean it was either
Shut
him or
up.
a friend of ours, Brandon Gill, turned us on to it, and it was porn bloopers, and it was like the funniest shit I'd ever seen.
Shut up. Oscar was talking about that just the other day.
You guys are like kindred spirits, you and Oscar.
For real, because he told me about
Yeah.
this blooper he saw where this girl was giving like the guy head and he farted and like they had to keep going, but she like slapped him and I was like, why? Why do you want to watch people messing up? He's like, I don't know, it just makes it more real. It's more funny that way. And I was like, yeah, because if I guess if I was getting paid, I would not stop, but.
Yeah, you think they would like burn that information, you know,
Right.
that bit that goes
Yeah.
there. It's all
No, it's all
documented.
Yeah,
Do you want to tell them about your sex blooper? Did we beep?
Yeah, you beat.
We beeped. What, the red button?
Yeah, red button.
Which sex blooper? Are you talking about Lulu? Oh my
Or
god.
is that too first?
Dude, no, that's all good. I don't even
Blue
mind.
Moon? What?
Dude, oh, okay.
I said, do you want to talk about our sex
So the most
blooper?
embarrassing sex moment I've ever
here
had in
we
my
go.
life. Okay, it's good.
It
So,
takes a whole new meaning to
We're
doggy
recording, right?
style.
That's
Yes.
recording, because I don't want to miss this.
so it's
Yeah.
good. It's good
We got the
stuff.
backup
It's not
too.
time lapse. Right?
Okay, good.
It's
No,
good
it's-
stuff. I'll consider this therapy for it.
Takes
So-
a whole new meaning to
Yeah.
doggy style.
So, holy shit.
Uh-oh. There we go. It's getting good now.
Oh my god. So we had this dog named Loodle, right?
Which the name is bad enough.
Wait,
You can end the
said
story there.
yeah.
Danger
So
Loodle?
very short story about this dog. So I forget what the bet was, but I agreed. Something happened and we agreed that Bree could get a dog, and she said she wanted a wiener dog, and she came home with not a wiener dog. And anyway, he stayed, and we named him. We named him Loodle,
Lachlan.
right? Because Loodle would say
Lachlan
this
would
noise.
Lachlan would just run around and be like, "Loo-loo-loo-loo-loo-loo," and I was like, that's fucking funny. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, we couldn't come up with a name, and sort of like, we'll name him the noise, and then here's the thing. And so fast forward a little bit, and anyway, her and I are getting it on one night, right? And it's like great, and we're in doggy style position, right? And I'm like
Yeah.
right on the verge of just like being over, like KO, you know, just, like straight up like
Hitter
KO
quitter.
this. And right as now we're in doggy style position, okay? And it's just so it's so just it's just anyway. So right as I'm about to finish, I don't know that Loodle, the dog, is on the bed,
Oh.
standing directly behind me.
Oh,
Right? And literally, as I'm finishing, I feel one lick hit my ball sack and then travel up to my ass.
Whoop.
And then the immediate emotion that followed was, I don't know if I need to be mortified or if I'm into this. It was a really vulnerable moment for me. And so I throw the dog off and I'm like, get off me, I hate you, like, come back tomorrow. You can sleep on the bed tonight.
Oh my god.
And so anyways, yeah, that was, and Bree's just sitting there like looking at me.
Like, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know what's going on. I'm still trying to collect myself. The dog's just like, I helped. Do I get a, like, I helped you guys.
Whatever happened to Loodle?
So,
I haven't seen Loodle. We've known you guys for like
Yeah.
a year.
we don't have this dog anymore.
Bree was like, fuck that.
I'm gonna cry.
Can't even get in on that action, and then you give him away.
Yeah,
Just as he's getting into all that
Loodle the dog,
vulnerable
he flew
moment.
too close to the sun.
Oh.
That's
No,
what
the problem with
happened.
Ludo was he was a herd dog. He was part blue heeler. And we were living with my parents at the time in their guest house.
Yeah.
And they would always, like, they had little dogs. And he would, like, attack them and stuff to herd them. And then he would do the same thing to Lachlan whenever he was first learning to walk. Lachlan would, like, stand up and he'd jump on him. And we were like, you know what, you're kind of an asshole and you need to be on a farm. So we knew this older couple and they loved him and we were like, you want him? And he is so much happier out there anyway.
Give him a warning?
No. No, this was not a full
He's
disclosure.
a multi-talented dog.
Sleep in the house
Old
at
Farmer
night.
Joe.
I'm sure
Throwing
they-
out his bag.
I'm pretty sure they figured it out by now. That dog was an opportunist. Like, consent was not his
Okay,
vocabulary,
imagine.
that's for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. I forgot about that. That's one of those
No,
things,
you
like, you know,
fucking
you lock that in a box and throw it in your, like, subconscious ocean. I didn't
You
know
dream
that.
about it every once in a while, but you don't remember it.
Yeah.
Ours just police us. So like they're like keep
You're
it, they'll hang off like in the background. But if you get any like kind of crazy aggression motions going, then they're like you try to pull out like a little whip or something. It's like,
Lenore, our girl dog hates the whip.
yeah,
Aw.
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
they shut it down every time.
She's seen some shit, okay?
Yeah.
What about what's your dog's name? Monster or something?
No, we have a pit bull named Titan,
Or
and
Titan.
when we first rescued him, we kept him in a kennel in our room just to, make him feel more comfortable, whatever. Well, we were also in a very vulnerable position, and we had the lights off, and so I wasn't fully paying attention. But we were really getting into it, and he just starts crying. He's just like, and I look up, and he's looking me dead in the eyes, and I was just like, okay, he's gotta get out of here now. We can't have this.
Yeah.
Every time that we had sex, he cried.
Oh,
And I can't tell if it had to do with he thought I was being hurt,
Or if he was bad.
or if he was subjected to that as a puppy and it just scarred him. I don't know, but it was just okay, this is weird.
That's
Or
crazy.
maybe he got reincarnated and he's just like, fuck my life.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in a cage.
Yeah, I'm hearing jealousy in there.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, look at you.
Alright, third question. You're on your deathbed, looking back on your life so far.
Bet.
What's your biggest regret?
Ooh, biggest regret. My biggest regret is that I didn't live enough when I was a teenager. Man, I focused a whole lot on being super serious and trying to grow up instead of just being kind of wild and crazy. And when I look back on my life now, I'm glad it built me into what I am today, but I do regret some of that. When I was a teenager, I tried to focus on growing up too fast, too much.
Is that why you picked Bree?
Yep.
Knocked her up right away?
I was like, let's see how crazy we can get right real quick. She was like, okay, she figured out I don't have a tattoo on my back. Pregnate her.
Oh yeah, we gotta share that story.
It's the master. What was it? A major pain technique. Just break the finger. That way you don't have to worry about the bullet in the leg. Same thing. Just get her pregnant. She'll forget about the tattoo.
So, Bree, how did Kye get you in the sack? What was one of the things he told you?
So when we first met, we both worked at Outback, and we'd flirt. Sorry, beer. We'd flirt, and one day he was talking about my tattoos, and I was like, yeah. Do you have any? And he was like, yeah, I have a huge back piece. So I'm like, well, we gotta hang out sometime, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, he ends up adding me on Facebook. We talk every once in a while, and then we make plans one day at work to hang out because we were like, well, we're both off tomorrow, we'll hang out. We get super drunk, so drunk. I ended up sleeping over, we had sex. One nighter. It worked out 5 years later. But I didn't even realize he didn't have a back tattoo until we'd been sleeping together for 2 weeks.
Slime, man.
And one day we were doing it, and I remember just looking over him while we were doing it, and I was like,
You
didn't you
catfish
have
and
a back tattoo? And he was just like.
It's like, come on, man, I'm in the midriff here, okay? We'll approach the line once I get mine, alright? But yeah, so she was like, well, how do we start? You're like, where's it at? And I was like, oh, it's a black light tattoo. And then
And
it
then
came out
it was
after
a
that.
black tattoo.
Again.
Yeah, and then it came out. I mean, I was already 2 weeks in. I was like, okay, if I
Yeah.
just maybe feed her one more line, it's okay. And then once that didn't work, I was like, forget it. We're just gonna get her pregnant. I had already been through plan A through D, and I was just like, we're gonna skip to W.
You gonna throw that haymaker,
Yeah.
the Hail Mary.
He didn't get to live his teenage years, so he decided to knock me up during mine. So I could separate out.
That way we would have common ground.
Oh, I see.
Our regrets are equal.
But then look, once your kid is grown enough to be out of the house, you're still gonna be young.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go out and party like you were teenagers.
So we're gonna go find Loodle.
Find
When
that
he's an
farm.
old dog. Like, you got enough in you for one more round, buddy?
He's gonna be like, it's just calling. I knew they'd be back.
Yeah, he's gonna do that one last lick and then just die.
He lied his deathbed regret will be getting rid of that dog.
They have things to help you with that if that's what you're interested in. I mean, technology has come a long way with sex toys. I'm just
I
saying.
thought she was talking about furry.
No! Oh my God.
I thought she was gonna say furry costumes. I was like, we considered
Just
that.
have Bree dress up as Little the dog.
Yeah. And I can be, what's that Pokemon's name?
You know what, babe, but that's what does it for you.
Just saying, like Christmas or Halloween, you come to the party, it's like the vampire ball is like a blue healer vampire.
He's like, I want to be a cat for Halloween. Kai's like, no, a dog. Be a dog. A blue healer wiener chihuahua.
Very specific.
Noodle.
With a penchant for hurting things. Yes.
Bite my ankles.
Yeah, our early relationship was pretty cool. Yeah, it was.
The rest of it?
I was told the second. I was like, hey, you want to go on a date? And she was like, you want me to just come over to your house, get a 6-pack of Bud Light Platinum, and we'll play Cliff City. And I was like, yeah, this is where it's. I was like, okay, all right, cereal.
We got drunk in like an hour and just went to bed.
Yeah.
That's how you know you got a good one. This one, our first day, we drank 40s in the park.
Yeah.
It's the best date. It is.
Yeah.
And I basically moved in with him the first time we ever hung out. Like, it wasn't official, but like, I never went home.
Yeah.
Well, she tried to ditch out, man, and I was like, hey, I've got a trash can in the bathroom. Like, it's
No, he
there for
didn't.
you.
I started my period. We'd been seeing each other for a couple of weeks, and I started my period. And he didn't have a bathroom or a trash can in his bathroom, and I was like, hey, like, you got your friends over tonight, and I think I'm just gonna head home. And he was like, what? Why? Did I do something wrong? And I was like, no, I don't think you want me here, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, seriously, what's wrong? And I was like, I started my period, and like, this is a bachelor pad because you don't even have a trash can in your bathroom. And he was like, he literally looked at me, and the bedroom and the bathroom were like right next to each other, and he picked up his bedroom trash can and like put it in the bathroom. And it was like, are we good? Are we straight now?
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah. And then I would go home for showers and stuff because, you know, they're men and they're gross. And I was like, I would go home for showers and he just said, why don't you bring your stuff over here? And I was like, damn, clingy.
Just one thing at a time, just slowly reeling it in.
I had the opposite. She like called me one. She was living in San Francisco and I was living in Livermore. And then she called me and was like, yeah, I'm going to move out of this apartment. Is it cool if I move in with you? I was like, what? And I'd been living like on my own for like 7 or 8 years, you know, and I was like, I guess. And then she got there and she was like, all right, this is how it's gonna be. You need to give me like 5 hours in this fucking shithole. And she was like running around my room, like throwing away shit.
Fighting the non-secret.
She like hardcore moved in. She was just like,
oh yeah.
Like,
it tripped me out because I was excited, but then I was like, oh yeah, for sure, gross. And like I had like a huge walk-in closet, and I would literally just throw things in there.
His
and then
pile of clothes was up to here.
sounds
yeah, instead of like
walk in the
I was just
closet.
buying new clothes because we had like
He would
these
literally dirty something and buy a new shirt and not wear that shirt ever again.
Because I hate doing laundry, and our laundry anytime like we would use it at that house, like it would just break and like flood shit, and I'm just like, fuck it, man, I'll just go to Target or whatever.
Just go get a new shirt.
Yeah, just buy like those packs of like shirts, you know?
Oh yeah,
10 black shirts for like $10.
Be done.
Use it. See you
Man
later.
logic.
Yeah, see you later.
But she dove right in there, right into that pile, and then she crawled back out. She's like, "What's this?" And she had like some porn. Like, what do you expect? She's like, gone.
No, because of the way he was raised, like, the duplex was actually really clean. It's just it wasn't accommodating for a girl.
Right, yeah.
So it's not like it was nasty or nothing. Your toilet was a little gross. It still is. I clean it every day. You and Lachlan, I hate y'all. Like,
Yeah.
I have to have my own bathroom because they just, like, do you even aim?
Well, it's kind of like hard. You
It's
know, like
amazing.
whenever you like. You
Yeah,
have a water hose and
you
you turn
go-
on
yeah,
like
it goes
full
up,
blast
it
and
goes
it like
up.
it's kind of like
Squat then!
it does that like that. What is those some of those car dealerships that got that wavy noodle dude?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it does. And then like some nights, some nights like especially if you just like have sex and then go to sleep and then the next day you go to pee like as soon as it's the tip it just like does like a hard blast.
Yeah, you'll be like going, and then it's like.
And then they're watching this happen and they're like, just let it
It's the fucking wall. You're like, oh shit.
Well, like there's literally like a 3-second pause where you're just impressed. You're like, wow, like you said, like fuck
And then
physics.
they're like, oh, she'll clean it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I clean the toilet every day because if I didn't, it would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Like every day. I go in there with my little Clorox wipes and I wipe it down. And then I deep clean it once a week. But y'all are
Ruin
nasty.
it. Just ruins it.
Yeah, what can you do?
Ruins it.
I don't know. Aim.
I don't know, I'm pretty lucky Oscar doesn't have that problem. The only person I have to worry about is Adler, and that's when he gets up in the middle of the night and he sits down on the toilet, but he doesn't like tuck anything, so it just like started coming out.
Oh,
And he just
In the shower door.
We were like,
Just in the shower door.
Oscar came running in the bedroom and I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, Adler pissed all over the floor. And I was like, what? Why? And he was like, because he didn't tuck his pee-pee in. And I was just like, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that. That's awful. This is just a terrible bane of existence to have to be like, tuck your pee-pee in.
Yeah, the bathroom expeditions. I'll never forget the day you were like, how did it come up, the whole wiping standing up thing?
Wiping standing up.
I've never heard it. Was a
Standing
Facebook
up.
meme and it was like, do you stand or sit to wipe? And I was like, who the fuck stands up? And Kai was like, you sit? And when he wipes Lachlan's ass, Lachlan will go around like scratching his ass all day, and I'm like, you don't make that poor baby like stand up to wipe his ass, do you? And Kai's like, yeah, what other way would you? And I'm like, he don't even get up in there because he walks around like scratching it all day.
So then we learned the lesson of
I know he's got a crusty ass asshole
Just
now.
sitting down
But
there,
I refuse to
staying
have
there.
sex with him unless he showers because I know you don't get up in there. You stand, like you would literally, okay, just like literally imagine. You're standing up, you have to like spread your cheeks. Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Kai's asshole.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was like an option. I didn't either.
Oh, listen, the whole art is standing up, sitting down, front to back to front. Like, there's tons of ways
No,
to
just,
do it.
just get a bidet. Like,
Yeah.
that solves
Yeah.
all your problems
There you go.
right there.
I will get a bidet if you promise me you will never stand to wipe your
Okay, I'm all for the day. Like, bring on the Poseidon's
God.
French kiss. Let's go.
Hey,
Poseidon's French kiss.
it is very, at first it was a little disconcerting, but it's actually very refreshing. And like, you know that you're clean down there, so it's not, you know.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm probably too okay with it, honestly.
I would probably never use it. I'd stick to my toilet paper and wipe. Because I don't know, I just,
And the sitting.
about it.
Yeah.
You're not embracing the European way of life.
I'm not.
Real quick, here, you wanna read this?
Sure. Oh, okay. So, our first verbal ad of the show. Are you ready? Support Waco's first comic book publishing company today. Plus Waco Comics presents Plus Universe Alpha Live on Kickstarter, a 60-page graphic novel for professional Waco artists Danny Flores and Armando Ramirez, co-founders Plus Waco Comics, to bring all new badass characters and stories to life for us all to enjoy. Support on Kickstarter and receive physical and digital copies, custom commissions, original pages, and more.
Boom. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook. Just look up Plus Comics.
Waco. Is it Waco?
Comics.
Plus Waco
Plus
Comics.
Waco.
Yes. Dude, their
Plus
stuff
Waco
is
Comics.
badass.
Yeah.
Both of them are so talented. We've had both of them on before, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're launching not just like a comic book, they're launching
Several.
their
A
own
whole
line,
universe. Yeah,
universe.
right.
So
Yeah.
their equivalent of Marvel or DC is
They've been working on this
Plus.
for a long time too, so it's not something they just were like, oh, we're gonna draw some comics. They put a lot of thought into and work into it. So go
Yeah.
check it out.
So go on their page, their Kickstarter is up, and there's like several tiers of things you can do to support them and things that you'll get when they actually launch it all. So, and they'll be on our show in a few weeks when it gets close to launch time to show us all the cool stuff and talk about it.
Awesome.
Boom, back at it.
So I actually,
Back to Kai's asshole.
Get back to your
That's been a really big theme this episode. Maybe we should
Yeah.
like make that the title.
Asshole.
Kai's crusty asshole.
Oh, dude, Oscar will so watch it. That's perfect.
If Oscar's feelings are not mutual, this is gonna be really good.
They are like super similar though.
They are.
Yeah, like similar in like size and almost style, and then they produce kids that look similar.
Aquariuses have to stick together.
Yes.
I mean, technically you're adopted, right?
Yes.
So
So-
you never know. Maybe I just saw a thing that said like twins that have different like one was an Italian and the mom was Irish and then they looked similar but
You're
different.
saying they could be twins.
That's what I'm saying.
That could be.
And they're both skinny.
Both.
They're both into
nerdy.
dressing fancy.
Yep.
They both dress up like button-ups all the freaking time. They're
He-
into all like
Yeah.
the same stuff, like movies and
Yeah.
whatever dorky shit y'all talked about.
Dungeons, Dragons,
Yeah, magic.
Magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Magic the Gathering. Yes.
Yeah. When we moved.
Our sons are both obsessed with Godzilla.
Yes.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Except right now he's obsessed with Bendy and I hate it.
Bendy.
Bendy, it's a video game character. It's Bendy and the Ink Machine. I don't know.
That sounds
Anyway,
familiar.
he's like a
Yeah.
demon that is made out of ink, and he absolutely loves it. And I'm just like,
Kids find
That's
out weird
cool.
shit.
he loves it, and it scares his abuela to death. Like she's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Oscar. I don't like it. Yeah, for real. Like she is just like, she'll hear him playing, and he'll by himself. And I think she heard him say something like, Bendy's telling me to kill Papa and kill my
Oh, no.
And she was like, Oscar, no more Bendy. And we were like, he was like, I was just playing. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't serious. And I was like, I know you were, but your fella doesn't know the difference.
That was some El Cucuy shit, right?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I actually kept me moving in with Oscar a secret until the very last second.
Really?
Yeah, because I had been talking about moving out on my own, but I was still dating Oscar at the time, and we had kind of talked about moving in together. We weren't really sure. But I had decided when I got divorced that if I was ever going to be in a serious relationship again, I was going to live with the person for a while before we got married, because I had never lived with my ex-husband before we moved in together, and then I realized just how horrible of a person he was. But
Yeah.
and by that time it was too late. So yeah, and then my I stopped talking about finding an apartment and started hanging out with Oscar more. And my mom was one day, she was like, "So, are you thinking about moving in with Oscar?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, sort of, kind of."
But I already am.
Yeah, it's gonna be happening like in the next few weeks. So just letting you guys know. And we actually had a really big fight.
Cheating your shit.
Yeah, well, we had a big fight about it because we hadn't even been dating like a year by that
Yeah.
point, and so like they were like, this is a terrible idea. This is gonna go so badly.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did. We were like both super partying when we got together, and we lived for a while, and then we bashed heads and split up for like a week. But then it brought us like clarity, like, okay, but we really like each other, so we're gonna have to
We don't love each other. We just really like each other.
we're gonna have to like meet at the crossroads and like negotiate this out and then move forward.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah, I definitely don't. This is my own personal opinion, but I do not believe in not living with somebody before you marry with them. I feel like you should be together, like live together for at least a year, so that you know that the other person's not a nightmare.
Would you buy a car without test driving it?
No, I would not. So that's exactly how I think about it. But
Well, I put a car in the other car and then moved it in 2 weeks later. And I was like, this looks good. The statistics are against us. Perfect. Perfect.
That was a hot mess.
Yeah, whenever she woke me up with the pregnancy test at 8 o'clock in the morning, she was like, you need to come see this. Or 9 o'clock, 9, 10, 1.
Me used to sleep until like 3 p.m.
She's like, you need to come see this. And I was like, is it big? But I knew in my mind, I was like, oh yes, it's all coming together.
Just
Yes.
what I wanted.
I knew the little boys, they didn't send me the notification that the mission was complete, but I knew it was.
He was in shock for the rest of the day. Like, he couldn't even form sentences.
See how good of an actor I am? All these years later. I'll tell you one of the best days we ever had though, was like, I think it was either the first or second night we'd spent over. And we literally like went to bed like late, like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then we literally stayed in bed together until like 6 p.m. the next fucking day. And it was like the most chill, just
Yeah.
relaxed, like easygoing
Aw.
day. It was a
I
really
wish
cool.
we could have that.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore because
No.
there's like the face hugger,
Tiny terrors.
5-year-old mini me.
Ours is like a 25-year-old bachelor that's been living with us for too long.
His roommates.
Yeah.
He runs
He
the
lives in
place.
his own like part of the house. You know, like he sleeps in. He goes in the fridge, makes a fucking mess. Like, doesn't pay rent.
We all live in his house.
Dude, Lachlan like shocked me the other day. He was off work, and usually like Lachlan comes to bed with us, but since we bought him his big boy bed, he's been sleeping in his bed more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And I like wake up, and my mom instinct is like, he's not in bed with us, so he's probably dead. Like I panic
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad still. He's almost 5 and I still think that way. But I'm like, give it a minute, maybe he'll wake up in a minute. He does. I hear him moving around. I'm like, oh my god, okay. He gets out of bed, goes to the bathroom, flips on the light. I'm like, okay, he must have really had to go. He goes pee, turns off the light, goes into the living room, turns on the living room light, turns on the TV, puts on his favorite show, goes to the pantry, gets a pack of muffins, opens up his muffins, and he doesn't even come in there for like an hour, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let it be. He was in there, and I was like, why didn't you wake me? And he was like, y'all are sleeping, like, I'm good. I was like, all right then.
Lachlan needs to come stay at my house and show Adler his ways.
Oh, he's just now getting there. And then I told
God.
him, you know the Lunchables pizza? I always make that for him. And I heat it up for him and serve it on a plate. Well, the other day, he comes into my room, and he usually gives me like 45 minutes to wake up
Mm-hmm.
and get in a good mood, because I'm not a morning person. And he came in there and was like, I'm gonna make my own pizza. And I was like, no, you're fucking not. You're gonna make a mess. Wait for me. I'll be there in a minute. He was like, I'm gonna go make my own pizza. So I hear him like shuffling around in there, and I was like, you know what? No amount of mess is worth me getting up right now. So I hear him like shuffling around. He even got the fucking kitchen scissors and cut open the pack of marinara sauce. Wow. And
The
like,
sharp ones.
yes, the fucking sharp one. He told me that today. I was like, how'd you get it open the other day? He was like, I got the chair, and I took it over there to the counter, and I climbed up on the counter, and I got those scissors. And I was like, okay, maybe don't do that. Maybe ask me to open that for you, but the rest of it's okay.
Yeah.
But he like made the pizza, and he came in there, and he looked at me, and he was like,
So
I told you I'm gonna make my pizza, Mom.
So proud.
And I was like, you don't know how to work the microwave though, so think you know it all.
No, it's one of those things where on the weekends he'll get up and he'll come snuggle us, and I'm like, okay, that's good. And then we're like, okay, go feed the doggies and get dressed, and he just like has to.
You make him feed the dogs.
Yeah. Look, he doesn't do a single goddamn chore in our house, and if there's one thing I'm okay with him doing is feeding the dogs, because it's easy. Like he can put it in their bowls and then let them out, and it's fine.
That's what we should have done with Lachlan.
But he is not very like self-sufficient, and so I've been trying to get him to do things on his own a lot more. But oh my god, if in the mornings he just got up and turned the TV on and did his own thing for an hour, holy shit, that would change my whole life.
Have you seen the video? It went around a while ago. It was like viral that this mom taught her like 4-year-old how to make her coffee before she wakes up in the morning. He would just go like put the coffee in and start the coffee pot and then wake her up.
I need that done.
Yes.
I can do it.
Dude.
Hey, I taught him how to do the microwave. I was like, press the stop button first in case number's already up there, and then I'm like, then 30-second button, because that's all your pizza needs,
Yeah.
dude. And he does, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
One less thing I gotta do. And he
Ours
thinks
is
it's
gonna be
fun. He thinks it's like the craziest thing. He's like, I get to make my own pizza. I'm like fucking Ratatouille in this bitch.
Ours is gonna be a rebel, dude, because like he'll be like, Dad's, you know, he wants he calls it candy, but it's little fruit snacks.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nah, dog, you already have one, you know? And I'll be like on my phone or like doing something, and then he'll be like, oh, fuck you. And then he goes, then he pulls the drawers, and he makes like stairs, and
Yeah.
then he climbs up the
Oh
fucking
my
things, and then I
God.
hear him opening the thing, I'm like, hey! and he tries real frantically to get it before I get over there.
I love how he's like, you're gonna get it for me? No. Screw it.
I can just see him with his little shit-eating grin, just being like,
Oh yeah.
In the milk, dude.
Got
Like
it.
it's literally like once he got strong enough to open the fridge, he's in that fucking fridge
was
every
on
15 minutes, and he's grabbing the milk, and when it's a
Try
full
a gallon of
container,
milk.
he's like fuck, because he listens to like when he drops shit, I'm like fuck man, you know. And then so now when he does it, he's like fuck. Like dude,
I see him holding up a gallon.
And he's so stealthy because I'll be like, he'll be watching his fucking bullshit, like
Yeah.
Ryan's World or whatever, and I'll be painting, and he's kind of like nodding off or whatever, and I do not hear him, and he's like, just ninjas to the fucking fridge, and then you hear him open it, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then he grabs it.
Or he's ninjaing up and sharpieing the entire living room.
Yeah. He did that. But hey, it worked out. Our house looks cool now.
Sure does. I can't believe it was white a couple of months ago, weeks
Bane was
ago.
just like, let's kickstart this. Come on.
Well, because he's a tornado, so he'll run and like just make a bunch of noise all over the house. And you saw him even tonight, like he was on his little fucking
Oh
car.
my god, I was trying to like talk to Sean and I was like, no use. Because the boys were running around like with their scooters making fuck tons of noise and I was like, I'm just gonna give it a minute.
Yeah.
And like he was making a bunch of noise, and then he stopped making noise, right? And
That's
I'm
when
like,
you gotta get worried.
I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then I go over, and then I look, and all of our white walls have black Sharpie.
Everywhere.
Every fucking wall. I was like, how did you do this in 3 fucking minutes, man? And I'm like, fuck. And then I tried scrubbing it, and it just like smeared. I was like, oh god.
Skills, man. Ninja skills.
Why don't you talk about how you tricked me into painting your house? That was not a trick, that was a miscommunication. It was not a miscommunication. You knew exactly. No, I knew what I meant. You didn't know what I meant. I wasn't the only one though.
Is that the trick where she thought that you thought they were having like a painting party? Like was
She
Candace?
literally
I said painting party, but I literally meant like painting my fucking living room walls party. I didn't mean
So you thought
like
you were gonna like
wine
paint
and
she thought
flowers
we were
or
gonna
some
have,
I was
shit?
like, do you want to have a wine and painting party? And I was like, that sounds like fun. Should I bring anything? Like canvases, paints, brushes?
she thought we were gonna do like one of those canvas classes where everyone paints the
Nah,
same
man, she was the
picture,
fucking like stick.
Yeah. Take a roller. Get to fucking work.
So we get to painting, and then Serena shows up.
Oh yeah.
And even she was like,
Oh.
she was like, I was like,
this
are
is
you
what
gonna
you
paint in this place? She was like, yeah, why? I was like, okay, here's a roller. She's like, what?
Yeah, what?
I'm gonna do that whenever I move to Waco. I'll be like, hey guys, wanna have wine and painting party?
Call me. I swear to God, I've painted every single one of my friends' house. Like, everybody who's had a house, I've painted. All of my friends. And I'm like, whenever we fucking move, I better have 12 of you bitches lined up in my house painting with me. God damn it. I painted Lee's
I broke
house.
both
I
my hands.
painted Katie's.
Well, I came home and I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. Because it was like Candace, Brianna, Serena, they were all like going to work. Like, everybody was on a different wall.
I'll sit back there with a drink.
Yes, I was. I cracked a monster. I'm like, oh yeah, hey, missed a spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck yeah.
Dude, we got it done quick though. Like that
Totally.
wine, we were like, we just want to chill.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was like
Get
3
out
hours
there.
and the house
We're
was
like,
done.
finish these
I'm
walls
feeling-
before we finish this wine, please.
I'm feeling hopeful now that I won't just be totally by myself.
you won't, girl. You got us.
Because I hate painting.
We got
So,
time for another ad.
yeah. This episode is brought to you by Dark and Jury Clothing. Dark and Jury is an edgy fashion and lifestyle brand that embraces great design and unsurpassed quality. Dark and Jury has quickly gained a following amongst fans of the occult, horror, punk rock, heavy metal, and all-around free thinkers and retailers worldwide without shoving a preachy, trendy, or political message down your throat. So buy the best, fuck the rest. darkandjuryclothing.com, you hoes.
Oh yeah, speaking of that song,
that.
and it's relatable to today, so I was closing a deal, a car deal, and we were agreeing to terms, and one of the terms we'll do is like, you know, this much money down, this much a month with approved credit, and so we'll write WAC as an abbreviation for that. Well, today on the deal, I wrote this much a month WAP on it. because of
Just supposed to whap.
because the song is so drilled in my head, like I can't go anywhere without hearing it.
I
Like,
sing it around
everyone-
the house every once.
Yeah, like all the girls at work, and like some of the guys at work listen to it because they're on like TikTok and everything. And when I'm at home, it's all I hear. And so I just wrote it. This is subconscious, like Freudian slip. And I turned it over. I was like, okay, this is just saying we'll do this deal today with approved credit law. And he was like, WAP. What is that? And I was just like, with approved purchase. Just on the top of my head. And he was like, with approved purchase? Like, yeah, it's just dealership terminology, man. I was like, I just abbreviate everything. He just looked at me and I was just sign it.
Just sign signed him in.
Yeah, my managers were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I had a WAP slip too, because I do all the, I program all the music for the market.
Oh, this was bad.
And there's
yeah,
there's like,
bad.
this market in particular was very family oriented, because we had like the kids,
Lots of
like
kids,
costume
lots of
contests.
contests.
Family.
Yeah, and then like,
Yeah.
then I'm like in the store, and then you see like everybody running, because you can't hear the music when you're in the store, because
Yeah.
it's insulated, and there's music playing in the store, and you see everybody running to the thing, and it's like, what's going on? And then I had deleted, because I had a metal version of it,
Right.
and then I deleted that, but I forgot that
Yeah,
the original version was on there.
Still on there.
So there was like little kids everywhere, and then fucking Cardi B starts playing, and then John Gotti's like sprinting to the.
I can see John.
Shout out to John.
John. Sprinting.
Parents are starting to pick their kids up. Like, what's going on?
Oh my god, I can just imagine John sprint. He's like holding the skeleton.
Yeah.
Just
whack.
Yeah. Get out of my way.
We're getting towards the midnight hour here.
Yeah.
You want to do some shout outs?
Sure. My mind went blank. Just shout out to you guys in the vampire ball this weekend. I'm so freaking excited. I'm so excited. I've got all my stuff ready to go. Can't wait to get dressed up. Can't wait to get jolly on the dance floor.
Jolly?
Jolly.
No.
Decking the halls?
Yeah.
I was thinking of Jimmy and then Jolly came up, so leave me alone, you hoes. Leave me alone, you hoes. Anyway, but that's my shout out.
Another shout out to Mike Man. Keep fighting the good fight, bro. And yeah, thanks to everybody that came out to the market, going to the vampire ball. And thanks to the what the fuck is the newspaper?
Oh,
Waco
Waco Tribune
Waco
Herald.
Tribune Herald for featuring us this week.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah,
boom.
Very nice.
Shout out to all you spirits in here. I know you're fucking here.
You knocked over that.
Constantly.
You knocked over that shelf. It wasn't me, I swear.
That dude, that wasn't either of us.
Mm-mm.
That makes sense.
You
actually,
spooky hoes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with it. I'm like, fuck it. I
Yeah.
greet things in the morning. I'm like, oh, what's up?
Morning, how
Gargoyle?
Sean greets the gargoyle now.
Yeah, I do.
Respect.
And some other asshole fucking 40 years from now or whatever is gonna be like, oh, this guy got it from this old lady. He used to greet it, now I got it.
Yeah. Now I created everything.
Actually, it'll probably be Bane, because I'm gonna will it that like if he wants any of our money, he has to take care of all this shit.
Yeah.
You have to greet the
All the
gargoyle
haunted stuff.
every day.
Fuck.
Wait, I have one more shout out.
Go for it.
Happy 5-year anniversary.
Almost.
Aww. So sweet.
It's on Devil's Night, but yeah, it's gonna be tight.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's what she said. It's gonna be tight.
It's always tight.
Oh.
Oh, so sweet.
That's awesome.
Shout out.
Oh, shout out to Oscar. And shout out to Lulu. Lost but never forgotten.
Your work wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Sean,
Yeah.
you ruined mine.
Hey, do you want to do a shout out?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Shout out to all the little girls that my hubby works with that are obsessed with him and jealous of him. No, shout out to my little sister. She's 16 today. So
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. That's awesome. I know it was your birthday.
And a shout out, to your mom. It was her
Your
your
mom.
mom's birthday.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have done that too. My mom would have been 50 on the 26th.
Aw.
She passed away last year.
Yeah.
In memory
Shout
of.
out to moms.
She might be here. You know.
Leave my mama out of the
So, hey, I
She
think
don't
they're
come
onto
down
something
here
here,
and
guys.
give
They're onto something here.
All right, guys. Till next time. We'll see you.
Bye.